Jurassic Park, the only story with a theme song so catchy you will find yourself whistling it once you finish this video. And you will finish this video.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
But if we shift the perspective away from Hammond, Grant and the ever-lustrous Malcolm and instead focus on Dennis Nedry, then it becomes the most hilarious failure of corporate espionage in history. But to imagine that, let me just put you in his shoes. So imagine for a minute that you are Dennis Nedry. You are the best coder in living history, at least in your mind. You're the kind of guy to spend all day and night on 4chan or Reddit, and they weren't even a thing back in 1993. Long time ago though, you were approached by some old fart named Mr. Spare No Expense, Richard Hammond, a guy so repulsively and grotesquely rich that you feel nothing but jealousy every time you see him. And no small amount of resentment either, because he and his company InGen hired you and subsequently paid you such an absurdly low amount of money for someone who says that they spare no expense on everything. Well, they absolutely spared expenses, and that expense was your paycheck. So naturally, every time you see Hammond eating beautiful food, flying off in his helicopter to go meet some doctors digging around in the dirt, you are sat there at your dirty desk feeling resentment and upset. You are the person that keeps the entire operation running, not him, you. And for years it was like this. He kept on piling more and more work on you despite giving you absolutely none of the benefits. You even had to go through 2 million lines of code.
You know anybody who can network 8 connection machines and debug 2 million lines of code for what I bid for this job?
Literally, you cannot fathom this level of audacity. This is the kind of thing that requires a team, let alone doing it with dinosaurs as well. You're really good at your job, the best even, but 2 million lines and debugging is a Herculean task. No, you need a little minions helping you out at least. But you did it. By God, did you do it. And when you approached them for a raise, because you just did the work of 5 people, imagine that. You do all of this work under pressure for dinosaurs. Your system works flawlessly. Not even a bonus either. You actually could not believe it. So when Biosyn came knocking, you did not skip a beat. They wanted embryos and they were willing to pay an insane price for it. So you jetted off to Costa Rica while Hammond was dealing with his little lawyers or something. That apparently there's a raptor killing on a worker, which is insane, by the way. Imagine your attractions are literal death machines and they have a T-Rex too. It can only end badly. But if it does end badly, well, at least you'll be in some third world country with infinite cash, sipping on coconuts and living a good life. Or, any place where you could buy a village for a nickel. This is the least that you deserve. And going to Costa Rica was pretty cool. Food is good. And when your guy comes in looking all cringe what is this? Is this guy an idiot? This is Costa Rica. Does he really think that anyone cares about some generic white guy in a terrible hat? Of course this guy would be the first person in history to try and bring the fedora back into fashion. That fedora should be yours. You are the future Reddit mod. But then he hands you a bag of cash, $750,000, more money than Hammond has ever paid you in your entire life. And then he drops even more, saying $50,000 for each fertile embryo. 15 embryos and a total of $1.5 million. Holy, that is an insane amount of cash. So just think about it for a second. You would probably throw your own grandma downstairs for half of that. And all you have to do is sabotage the guy who's completely undervalued you at every single turn, who refuses to pay you any amount of money or do anything for you. You literally cannot refuse this deal. And to top it all off, he gives you a shaving cream can. And if you didn't feel like you were in a James Bond movie before, well, now you do. This is a proper Q type gadget. And now his hat and his glasses make a little bit more sense, because he probably actually thinks that he's a supervillain spy.
Nice hat. You're trying to look like a secret agent.
And now you are a very, very rich, at least for 1993, kind of rich, spy. And God, you feel like a child right now. It really does not get much better than this. And you're getting paid for it as well. Hell, you might even do this for free. It even produces cream. Either way, that is awesome. And tomorrow, you get your just desserts.
7 o'clock tomorrow night on the East Dock. Make sure he gets it right.
All you need to do is 18 minutes of a little sneaky and a little steely. To be honest, if you were a smarter man, you'd probably bid off the embryos to the highest bidder. Probably could get a better price, but hey ho, better to get a guaranteed $1.5 million than mess with more corpos. And with that, you head back to the island. Hammond is doing some tour for some paleo nerds. Of course he is. Oh, you bet that he is paying them tons of money. There is no doubt in your mind that he is paying for their digs and flying them all over the world and giving them beautiful food while you are sat here eating McDonald's, unable to do anything because you're just so goddamn poor. And then they start having glitches and Hammond starts coming to you about the situation. But this time you literally have nothing left to lose. You've got nothing left in the tank for this guy. Screw this guy.
Our lives are in your hands and you have butterfingers?
I'm totally unappreciated in my time.
To be fair, you've done this a few times before. It's crazy. But you are so necessary to the island, yet they just keep on doing this. It's insane. Either pick a lane. Either you're unnecessary and able to be paid cheaply, or you are necessary and you have to do all of this stuff. There's no two ways about it. But this got him rattled. So you go for the jugular. You tell him how good you are at your job. And I mean, like, you are physically restraining yourself to not say what you're about to do. Because you know tomorrow he is going to have the shock of his life.
Sorry about your financial problems, Dennis. I really am, but they are your problems.
Yep. And tomorrow, those problems are now going to be his problems too. And you won't have any problems anymore. It's crazy how that works.
I don't blame people for their mistakes, but I do ask that they pay for them.
Oh, does he now? Well, he's about to find out why the mistake of not paying people will cost him dearly. Anyway, Mr. Snakes on a Plane comes at you asking to debug more code or something, by the way. Oh, you can't do that yet because, like, you know, when you actually go to debug the code, that's when all hell was about to break loose and, you know, you're going to need to skedaddle. And you do want the money, but you are not about to throw these people on the tour under the bus so you can get a little bit of cash. Like, you want money, you don't want to murder people.
Quiet, all of you. We're approaching the Tyrannosaur paddock.
But while Hammond is letting his little guinea pigs get bored to death from some lack of dinosaurs, you're doing a little recon. You know, you're in your MI6 era now. This is what James Bond would do, right? Like recon or something? Who knows? Sorry, we can't actually swear in this one. So you're more of an armchair spy than an actual spy. But then the worst happens. A storm is coming in. And now the dock guy, he's hard up your ass. So you have to move. You actually have to do the terrible thing. You're gonna actually have to, like, throw these people to the dinosaurs, like, because, well, you know, you're not gonna let this opportunity slip. This is $1.5 million that you've been planning for so long. Like, okay, there's a little bit of collateral damage. Maybe they will survive. It's just dinosaurs after all. They're just giant meat-eating creatures. Maybe they don't even like humans. I don't know. But you have to move now. You have to go and break into the vault, steal the embryos, and go to the dock. In 15 minutes, by the way. You'd almost feel like this was your moment. This is the hero's journey moment that you were dreaming of having, but, like, come on, you're not exactly ready to do some high-octane heist. You're hoping for a more meandering robbery.
You gotta give me at least 15 minutes. Give me the 15 minutes.
Damn, you are cooked. You are so cooked that you can't even muster up the energy to crack a few jokes and be your wise, smart-ass self. And you're probably very lucky that these guys have apparently the emotional intelligence of a tablespoon, because no one even notices that you're acting, like, a bit weird. Who realistically gets this sweaty or nervous about getting a soda? And they just let you go. These people, there's no grand goodbye, there's no ceremonial wave. It's just, they look at you and look down, and that's it, and you're gone. But now you're off to the races. Just like stealing candy from a baby. Thank you, Mr. Hammond, for sparing no expense, because now you're about to be filthy rich. Maybe not Hammond level wealth, but, you know, enough that all of your problems are about to completely vanish. And, you know, hopefully the ends will justify the means. You pick up one Stegosaurus, one Velociraptor? You thought they only had Deinonychus. What? You don't even know anything about dinosaurs, and you knew that was the case. Even Hammond can't help himself from crap marketing. How crazy is that? And of course, you make sure you get the T-Rex, because Lord knows these Biosyn guys might actually give you a bonus for getting such a big ticket item. And your getaway commences. At least you didn't turn off the raptor cage, because, like, could you imagine those Deinonychus could actually tear you apart?
The raptor fences aren't out, are they?
No, they're still on.
Why the hell would he turn the other ones off?
And at least this way you give those people, you know, who are currently running for their lives a fair shake to not have to deal with raptors, because that is a death sentence. But at this point, you know that they'll be trying to get through your code, and that's where your cheeky little, say the magic word, hack will come in. Just a little failsafe to rustle some Jim Jams while they get flustered, and you walk out with the keys to the kingdom. Crap. You were too busy thinking about which private island you were going to buy that you didn't even pay attention to the road. But man, you do drive for a while and you got lost, didn't you? Oh, like the boat is going to be gone at this rate. Oh no, oh no, oh no. So this is just your luck. You get lost, you crashed, and now you have to try and haul yourself out of there. Of course you do. Why wouldn't it just be easy? Why can't life be easy? Why does everything have to be a struggle? Why do you have to get underpaid? Why have you got to go through all of this nonsense? It's not fair. Hammond is sat there living in his ivory tower. You're squalling in the mud because begging for scraps because these people just refuse to accept your brilliance and how good you are at your job and pay you fair compensation. And now, to top it all off, you are going to have a bad back tomorrow too. Like, it's just not fair. Like, you're 40 years old or something, and now you got a bad back. Like, but hey, at least you found a tree to wrap the chain. That's all that matters. You're gonna get out of here. You're gonna be fine. What was that? Oh, yeah, dinosaurs.
You got time, you can do it.
Just a little more, and you're in the home stretch. That's it. You're fine. You're gonna get through this. You're gonna get there. The boat's gonna be there. Nothing bad's gonna happen. But a bird or something wants to play peekaboo. But it's not a bird. It's a giant lizard with very spiky teeth and apparently a frill. I mean, it's scary looking, but it's almost kind of cute. No, maybe it could be your new dog. Okay, apparently it's too stupid to be a dog. Whatever. So you threaten this little idiot.
I'm gonna run you over when I come back down.
Didn't even want it to be a dog anyway. That would be crazy. Imagine having a dinosaur for a dog. That would be awful. No one wants that. Oh no. It just squirted something at you, like black goo. At least it didn't hit you in the eyes. Thank God its aim is bad. Ooh, it's like me playing Counter-Strike. No, it's not like me playing Counter-Strike because this dude did not miss and it was the perfect shot. At this point, you're not even worried about the can. Like, you kind of just want to live. Like, this is a real spicy situation. But just as you get into the car, you have a sigh of relief. Like, oh my God, like everything's gonna be okay. You're gonna make it out of here. Like, it's there. This thing managed to understand that you were about to get into the car, jumped into the passenger seat, and waited for the right moment for you to relax. Wow. That's some crazy work. Hey, thank you so much for watching. Also, doing dinosaurs on the second channel, so go and check that out. Could be fun. I just want to shout out my members real quick, especially good old Granite and Alexander Colburn. Thank you guys, your support means a lot. And of course, Lavender, Zala, Toast the Bread, Takaru, Boss Link 17, Suzukaze, Lord Ravicus, Be Wilder Kings, and Alan. Thank you. Have a great day and have a great life.